Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while. It's been since before I left for training that I even made a video, much less uploaded one. And so today I thought I would get creative and actually title this one. So this one is from Bohemian Brown to Business Black. The story of my life as a flight attendant. So literally I was so earthy and casual and wore jeans and a t-shirt every day to go to work, and then now it's business black, you know, and I'm happy to do it, but you know, it's a big change, and it's not just in what you're wearing or, you know, what your dress code is at work. I mean, it's one of the biggest life changes I think you could ever make, deciding to become a flight attendant for a major airline especially. So once again, I am not going to talk about my company because I'm not representing my company in any way. This is just about me and my life as a flight attendant. And also, I just really want to respect their social media policy, and so that is why I've been taking some time to get to know my company and getting to know how I best can have a fun vlog and help y'all in any small way figure out what your life may be like if you choose to be a flight attendant. So when I did my last video, I was talking about preparing to move because you don't know what city you might end up in, and I kept using the example of New York. Well, guess who wound up getting based in New York? It was me, and I thought that was so crazy because I kind of had this feeling since the time that I applied that I would end up in New York City. Not necessarily that that was my number one pick, and it definitely wasn't my least favorite either, but I just had this like gut feeling. I'm like, this girl from the South is going to end up in the biggest city that she's ever been in, and it ended up happening. And so in the last video, I talked a lot about saving, that you wanted to save your money and how important that was. And let me tell you, I am so glad that I did. I am very, very fortunate that I was able to save money for about 6 months before taking this job, because there's a lot of people that are in the same position as me that had to move to New York to work there, and they are struggling with how to balance a budget and to really just have the finances needed to start a new life in a new city. Well, I bet you're thinking, oh my gosh, is she living in this big of a room in New York City? No, I'm not. I'm actually home right now. And to be completely honest, I don't know how often I'm gonna video in New York. I know that'd be way more exciting, you know, walk around, video recording stuff, and I might get there eventually, but making especially this first video after so long, I wanted it to be in the quiet of my own home, and I wanted to make sure that I figure out how to not bother my crash pad mates, because guess what, guys, I had to get a crash pad, and I'm actually beyond lucky. I am so lucky compared to so many other people that were also needing to find a place in New York City, and I found a semi-private room. So what that means is I do share a room, but it's like full-size beds, so that was really cool. I was totally expecting bunk beds. That was gonna be my life, and that is the life of a lot of my friends right now. But no, I got a place that I have a full-size bed all to myself, and there's another full-size bed in the room that my roommate, you know, they're on their side, I'm on my side. And then there's, excuse me, 1, 2, 3, 4 other rooms I'm recovering from an allergy issue right now, so forgive me. But there are 5 other rooms, and all of those rooms basically have their own occupancy. It's a single occupancy room, so you're not sharing with anybody else. I'm the only one that's a shared room. So it's actually kind of nice. There's 6 of us total. There's 1 bathroom, and then a kitchen, and it's actually a really decent kitchen. But you know, it's an adjustment, because if you're used to living on your own, especially, you're used to having like your own refrigerator, and so when you go grocery shopping, you buy anticipating that you can use whatever space is in the refrigerator. And when you are sharing with 5 other people, you know, you have a designated area a lot of times, not only in the refrigerator but in the cabinets and places like that. And then of course, if you are particular about your cookware in any way, shape, or form, especially like cheap cookware that can get damaged really easy, then you're like literally hiding your cookware in your room so that somebody else doesn't get a fork and just, you know, destroy it. So yeah, I'm kind of nervous about coming home to my skillet, honestly. But yeah, so you know, it's a huge adjustment. For example, moving to New York City, you get there and you only have your luggage, and then you're like, okay, well, I have to go buy things. You could have tried to pack all of the linens and blankets and pillows that you need, but I mean, that'd be taking up so much space in your luggage. And you know, while yeah, you could bring however many things of luggage, it's how are you gonna get that to your place in New York? If you're by yourself, are you gonna be able to pull 3 big suitcases? You know, those are the things you have to think about. I was lucky enough, my mom came with me, so she just had 1 small carry-on of her things that she needed, and then she was able to tug with her my like ginormous like luggage suitcase thing, and then I had 2 rollers as well. Yeah, so it's a challenge. We had to figure out how to get to Target. I did bring my own linen, because I had thought ahead at Christmas and found some stuff like super duper sale, and so I had some full-size sheets anyway. I actually had twin-size sheets as well, just in case. Then I didn't have a pillow though, because that was going to take up too much space. I did bring my own blanket. I found like an Eddie Bauer, actually my boyfriend found it, that is like a down blanket basically, but it's super thin and pretty lightweight, so it keeps me really warm without me having to have multiple blankets, and then it also condensed into a small space. So really what I needed when I got there were like cleaning supplies, because you're going to want to clean your area. I bought, since the mattress was already there, you know, it's not like I didn't have to go buy a bed frame and a mattress, because that is one of the benefits of a crash pad, is you get to just use the furniture that's already provided for you. The downside is you have a mattress that who knows how many other people have slept on. So I bought some kind of like a Lysol furniture material spray that I sprayed down the mattress like really good. And then we went and bought a mattress protector and a pillow, 2 pillows. I bought, gosh, you know, you have to go buy laundry soap, and you have to figure out where a local laundromat is, and you're buying other things, like you're buying food storage containers, you're buying Ziploc bags, you're buying Clorox wipes, you're buying just all these things that you're going to end up needing. And if you're ever going to go to London, you need to buy quart-size bags. You'll find out why. You'll thank me. Quart-size bags. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, like, life is just really different. I thought, you know, you have this idea of living in New York and it's super glamorous and you're going to be walking the streets of Manhattan. And then I realized, oh my gosh, there's no way I could afford Manhattan. And so I tried to make what I considered a really responsible decision. And I did decide to go to Kew Gardens. That is an area in Queens that is actually known as Crew Gardens too, because there's so many flight attendants and pilots that live there. And the reason why is positioning. It is literally right between both airports, both JFK and LaGuardia. And so it saves so much time. Like when I talk to some of the flight attendants that I work with that are from like Long Island and Brooklyn and the Bronx, you know, wherever, it takes them hours to get to work, where it takes me 45 minutes, 30 minutes, you know, depending on which airport it is. But so yeah, like I feel like I made a really good decision, but it's different, you know. It's this quaint little kind of nice area. I like it. It's very residential, and you see these people who you can tell, like, this is where their family's from. This is where they've been for who knows how many years. It could be 100 years. Like, they're just so happy. And I don't know, it's cool, and it's a welcoming area, and I like it. But once again, you're just financially strapped for a little bit. And I'm not going to talk about how we get paid or anything like that, but just know that it's going to take a while for you to be able to recover from having to buy all the things that you're going to need to buy. When you're traveling, like if you have a 3-day trip, then if you don't bring your own food, then your only options of eating food are sometimes just from the airport, and you know how expensive airport food is. So, I mean, it's amazing how much, like, your debt can rack up really fast. So definitely be mindful of that, and maybe have a crew, like a eBags cooler or a Travel Pro crew cooler. I bought one of those. I don't have it with me right now because I'm home, but those are like huge lifesavers. They really make a big difference. And then let's see. Yeah, I mean, just life is different. You know, your priorities are different. Your, I'll tell you what, like, I never thought I was a type A personality, but now I bring Clorox wipes with me, and I wipe down, not the whole hotel room because that'd be insane, but like, there's things I'm gonna touch, like handles, and, you know, wipe down remote controls, wipe down whatever, wipe down the toilet seat. Like, I know that I need to give myself every advantage of trying to not get sick, which, since I have allergies, you know, I mean, I sound like I'm sick right now, but it's just, I can't get my allergies under wrap right now. And, yeah, so I started doing that. I used to be the kind of person that when I got home, I immediately just wanted to sit down and just like watch something or whatever. And now when I get to a hotel, I literally immediately take my uniform off. I hang it up. I hang up my scarf. I'm taking off my jewelry and not just laying it on the counter. I'm putting it back into my jewelry holder, because in my mind, I was just like, the less I leave out ever will help me not to forget it. Or like, you don't want your earrings to knock into the floor or something like that. And I mean, I've never been that organized, not in my entire life. I almost wish there was a video recording me so that my friends and family can see, oh my gosh, look how responsible Sarah is. That doesn't happen here. But anyway, that's not the point. You know, it does. The job changes you. Hopefully for the better, I guess. You know, I'm a lot more responsible, I've noticed, with my time management. And I really want to get places early And yeah, so it's kind of cool. I love working with the passengers. Oh my gosh. It actually brings me a lot of joy. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not going to vent on here because I don't think that that's very professional, but I mean, you're gonna end up venting. There's gonna be people who are just kind of like, oh my gosh, did you hear what they just asked me? Or, oh my gosh, they didn't listen to me about this. But really, at the end of the day, the stories I really like to tell are the ones that I felt like I really connected with somebody or I made their experience better. And every time I get on social media and I see a negative story about something that happened on a plane, I really put myself in that situation, and I'm thinking, how would I have handled it differently? And how perhaps could people in general handle things differently and would have prevented things from escalating to certain points. And so I try to be really mindful of that every time I'm flying, and I want to put out that impression first of kindness, because if you have a really cold personality when someone's coming onto a plane and they're irritable too, then you're already clashing without actually saying a word to each other. If they're reading you, if they're sizing you up and they're thinking that you're going to be a problem or going to be unpleasant, then they're going to be unpleasant back. But if you can find a way to muster a genuine smile, or at least just a pleasant not complexion, but a pleasant face. Like, if you can just be pleasant, even if you don't have a huge smile on your face, I think people can read that. But that means that you have to prep yourself for that too, like before you get on the plane, or when you're on the plane before everyone boards, to check yourself and make sure that you're in the right mind state. Yeah, so it's a really fun job. I've been to London, I've been to Philadelphia, and I've been to Miami, and had some really cool layovers there. Got to go to the National Gallery. Oh my gosh, that was so cool. I got to see a couple Michelangelos and Da Vinci, one Da Vinci painting, one Da Vinci sketch. The sketch was actually probably my favorite. I got to see some Raphael, which he's actually my favorite. El Greco is like creeping up on me. Anyway, part of the reason why I took this job, guys, is because I love history and I love museums, and I want to see as many as humanly possible. And so when I have a layover somewhere that is full of history, I am just ridiculously excited, and I want to take advantage of that as much as possible. Don't get me wrong though, I love that Miami layover too. You get to lay out on the beach. It's the life. Anyway, so yeah. So I just kind of wanted to give you a little bit of an update on my life. It's not the easiest getting to come home. I know a big question for a lot of people is about commuting. I'm not technically really commuting because I don't want to put my company in a situation that will make it harder for me to be there when I need to be there. And especially when you're on reserve, and you're basically like a doctor on call, and they're going to call you if they need you, and then you have a certain time window that you need to be from where you're at to the airport that you're going to be working at. And so how are you going to do that if you are several states away? You can't be on call there. So you have to have a place wherever you're based at to successfully, perform your job. So that's why I found that semi-private room, because I wanted a place that I could feel really comfortable being at for a month at a time. If I didn't, so if I don't have a big enough bulk of days off, then I don't even try to go home. And, that's kind of hard on your family and your friends, and if you have a significant other, and flying standby doesn't always work the way you want it to, because you can't predict the weather, and you can't predict several things. So But it's nice. It's nice to be home, and it's nice to be back with my dogs and to be around my boyfriend and my family and my friends. And yeah, so if you have any questions about what it's like to move to a big city, let me know. If you have any questions of what it's like from wearing sweatshirts to, oh, I better not show you my uniform, you would figure out who I work for, to button-ups and vest, you know, let me know. By the way, I never thought I would wear a vest. I never did. But I got it, and I actually kind of like it. I think it's one of my favorite pieces to wear, actually. But yeah, so training is just the first challenge. You know, you have so many more complicated and laborsome times ahead of you, but I think it's going to be worth it in the long run. And I just want to remember what those other flight attendants told me when, you know, I first started, and I started asking them, you know, do you love your job? And they said, I literally could never go back to doing anything else. So that's an encouraging thought, and that's really what keeps me going, because I know that this could be an incredible career, and I just have to overcome some of the challenges and keep a positive attitude. So anyway, thanks guys. Maybe the next time I'll do a video, I'll have some New York footage for you. See ya.